Welcome back to another video, another live stream. I was going to do like a quick update video, like offline, non-live type thing. And I thought I might as well just do it live and we can chat about whatever we want afterwards. But what I'm going to do first of all is just really quickly, like a few minutes, just talk about what I was going to do in that video. And then we can just talk about whatever. So I haven't done any streams or videos for like 2 weeks. On Saturday last week, I got ill, just had a fever. The next day was really bad. I actually fainted, which has happened before. I don't think it's a major issue, but I think, yeah, just I fainted, etc. My temperature was really high. And basically I've just been recovering. And obviously, until I went back to work doing stuff for Scout, I haven't done anything here either. I've just been trying to get better. And I feel pretty good now. Some of you might have seen on Twitter that I've had a test. I've not had the results back or anything like that. It doesn't really matter at this point, I guess, because I'm feeling much better anyway. But that's kind of why I've not been streaming. And then I hate update videos. I really do. I think if you look back through my channel over the last 3 years, I've not really done any update videos. You know, I might have talked about on stream, I'm interested in doing this thing maybe in the future, or I've got this idea which I might do. I don't tend to do update videos. So I think people use them as an excuse just to do a video about stuff they're going to do rather than just doing that stuff. So I don't usually do update videos, but I thought I'd do one today because I've not been around for like 2 weeks and I said I would be. So the reality is I've got loads of FPL ideas basically for videos. I have a whole Google Doc full of them. There's like 25 to 30 at least different ideas, and even they can be split into more things. So the reality is, obviously, my job is also to do FPL stuff, and there probably isn't realistically enough pure FPL stuff to do across 2 different channels. So I have to prioritize where I do that. So basically, it can't be on this channel. If you follow Fantasy Football Scout, make sure you go and subscribe because the content on there is not going to be stopping. And obviously I did a video yesterday and there'll be another one tomorrow. And then we've got hopefully a Football Manager related one coming out on Scout as well this week as well, which I'll be editing and stuff. So all that stuff's kind of going on Scout. And I'll be honest, I just don't have enough ideas to keep going on that channel and this one. And so I don't want this channel to just die completely. I've thought about doing regular streams, just, talking about whatever, like 10, 15 minutes a day. I kind of guess I want some feedback about, do people want to see just FPL stuff on this channel? Is FPL stuff fine? Is football related stuff fine? What about Football Manager? That's something I could potentially stream on here. And again, like that's the kind of game you're not really having to sit there and constantly concentrate on what's going on around you. It's a nice chill game. You can just sit there and chat as well. So that might be an idea I could do on this channel. So I want to keep something going. I just don't know whether I should do it on this channel or create a new one. Is basically the long and short of it. So I'm going to keep creating FPL stuff on Scout, and I'll be involved there, of course, as part of the kind of day job. But I still want to use this channel from kind of, not even from time to time, regularly. Maybe not every day, but something like that. So that's basically the update. That's where I've been. That's kind of where my head is at with kind of creating content right now. I think most of the FPL stuff, like I said, is going to be on Scout. This channel, maybe there'll be some football stuff, I don't know. But like Football Manager is one that always comes up. There's obviously FIFA as well, which is football related. But realistically, I don't really have the internet connection to stream and play FIFA. So that's kind of off the cards, to be honest. Do I like Football Manager? So I've actually downloaded Championship Manager 0102. So you see a lot of people playing that right now because there's a great... I mean, it's too late to get involved now, but there's a great game being created by a few of the lads in the community based on the Championship Manager 0102 season and creating an FPL kind of game around that. So I've actually got it downloaded, and you can actually update it to the current team. So that I prefer that game because it's a lot simpler. The new Football Manager is it's very kind of involved. So if I downloaded the new one, I'd have to get used to it. But that's kind of what I'm aiming to do. But it'd just be interesting to, and not right now in the live stream. This is why I wanted to talk about all this stuff first in the kind of intro, so that people could if they weren't watching it live, they didn't necessarily have to watch the whole live stream. But if you've got any, there's no polls today, no. If you've got any ideas about what you'd want to see, you know, how annoyed would you be if it was like non-FPL stuff, just normal live streams talking about whatever, you know, or gaming or whatever it might be? Because I could set up another channel. Obviously, it wouldn't have the same reach as this one, but I'm not really bothered about that right now. It's not the thing that's at the forefront of my worries. And obviously then, you know, if I do that a separate channel, then this channel would obviously come back to life once the FPL season starts up again, whenever that might be. And it's not looking like it's going to be anytime soon at the moment. So that's kind of where we're at. So in terms of like updates and stuff, that's really it now. If that's all you wanted to come and see, then job done. And I've got a bit of time now, so we might as well stream and keep chatting about whatever. I really need to shave, by the way. I've been super lazy. Obviously, can't get my hair cut. First world problems. But I can shave, but I just haven't bothered. Pretty lazy. Football Manager streams would be great. Yeah, I think people would kind of like it, and you can kind of get an FPL angle. Like maybe I could start with Man United, try and build my FPL team for them. Getting Harvey Barnes, Willy Bolly into the Man United team. You never know. Football related videos. Yeah, I've been watching because I've been in bed like pretty much all of last week. So I've watched a lot of Man United clips from like the late 90s mostly and early 2000s. So not that I would talk about them, I'm just saying that's what I've been doing. Transfers, you've got to use them before they go. Yeah, I've got 2 free transfers. I've got no idea what I'm even going to do this week, to be honest. I'm not really giving it any thought into what transfer I do. I think I bought in Harry Maguire last week for Jack Stevens. I haven't got my team set up on screen, so I can't show you it. So I don't know, I might just do a Aubameyang to someone cheap and use that money to upgrade elsewhere. It doesn't really matter, I guess, at this point. You know, what we do. Am I still working out? Yes, but obviously I've not really been able to do it last week. Obviously being ill and whatever, I've not really done anything, but I've tried to kind of get back into it. But part of the problem was my breathing just wasn't... I got asthma as well, so my breathing hasn't been great. So anytime I've tried to work out, I've kind of like got really like tight chests like really quickly. And so that hasn't been great, but I've kind of got back into it a bit this week. So hopefully just start building it up again. There's no FPL, so nobody can be annoyed. Well, that is true. There ain't much we can do about getting FPL back. FIFA career mode, yeah, it's not something I enjoy, to be honest. Like if I play FIFA, I much prefer playing like online, like against other people. Not really. I mean, to be fair, I've never really massively given career mode a proper try, but I definitely prefer playing kind of online against other people. How's it going, Chow? Yeah, well, I might. I don't know if I had. I don't know if I had that particular virus, but I've had something this week. So yeah, it's hopefully getting better. Start a podcast about anything that interests you. Yeah, I always wanted to kind of do a channel or something on kind of fitness and diet, but like I don't know, I guess it's kind of boring right now because I'm not going to obviously start a channel about doing freaking home workouts. No one wants to see me working out. But yeah, maybe it's something I can chat about. Can play a game in the background. Yeah, Football Manager I think is the best of that. I haven't played Ultimate Team for a while, but that is what I would play if I was playing FIFA. I don't even know what state my squad is in right now. I haven't really played since I left EA, to be honest. Possible players returning from injury. So I literally I called it Forgotten Players, FPL Players, which probably wasn't the greatest name in hindsight. But yeah, basically done that. Players returning from injury, FPL wise, and there's enough to do a part 2, to be honest, because there's enough players to talk about. But that probably won't be till next week after, something like that. I think tomorrow's video. So I actually like I said, I've got lots of ideas. I was going to say a shed load. Yeah, shed load we can get away with. So I've got loads of ideas. One of them tomorrow because I've already got the notes for it. I haven't quite recorded it yet, but. Everything's set up, so it'll be out probably about 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock tomorrow on the Fantasy Football Scout channel, which is FPL Legends. So I've kind of split it down into positions, rather because if you just do one video on FPL Legends, it'd be an hour plus long, easy. So I've done Forwards is what I've started with. So, I mean, obviously you kind of know the players that are going to be in it, but it was quite interesting to research it just to see how ridiculous some of their seasons were, like Suarez and Henry and stuff like that. Like the kind of points totals they've got and things like that. So that'll be coming out tomorrow. So if that's something you might be interested in, make sure you go and subscribe to Fantasy Football Scout. Gary, thanks very much for that. £5. Great having you back, breaking up the boredom. That's kind of what the thing is. Like, it's obviously, I'm hoping people still want to watch in some way, even if I've not got too many interesting things to talk about. But it's also to stave off my boredom. Right? We're all bored, right? We're not. Not everyone's bored. I know some people get very annoyed when they hear people are bored. There's always something you can be doing. I get that, but like, we want to be doing the things we want to do. There's a difference, isn't there? Obviously, the situation we're in, we can't do that, and that's fair enough. I'm not going to sit here and moan about it, but I still want to, stream because I like doing it. I like sitting here chatting about absolute rubbish half the time. So that's why I want to start doing it again more regularly. Obviously, I've not been able to, but now I can. Yeah, maybe I can just use this channel to do the streams, and that if people get annoyed that it's not FPL stuff, then they can unsubscribe, I guess, and come back when the FPL season starts. Or maybe I just start a new channel. I don't know. I'll wait and see what the comments are like on the video first, and then go from there. Can you play against friends on Football Manager mobile? Is it FIFA mobile? FM Football Manager, I guess, mobile. I don't know. I'm not well up enough on current Football Manager to be completely honest with you, especially the mobile version of the game. I might just buy, like, I really want to stream Championship Manager 0102, but I don't know if I can do it in a good way that would look good on stream, because it's such an old game. Obviously, it's nearly 20 years old. The resolution and stuff is really low. So if I have it full screen, it takes up a good chunk of the screen, but I can't seem to get it to work in the streaming software. And if I put it windowed, it's tiny, so it's not worth kind of doing. So it might just be easier to let me get rid of WhatsApp here, to just stream the newest version of Football Manager. But it's so in depth. Like, the first couple of streams would be me just getting the hang of how the hell the game works. So I did try once before, and I kind of gave up on it. But I guess the time right now, got quite a bit of time to try and play it, to be honest, because there ain't much else going on. That's for sure. Get up, exercise, work, then what? You're going to go on an absolute bender when this infection blows over. I hear you. I've not had a beer for a few weeks now. That'll be the next thing. I might do, like, I'm thinking about doing, I will not get into the same state as last time, but a beer stream. Maybe one that I don't kind of record or leave up on the channel, so I can play whatever music I want and stuff like that. Because obviously you've heard me say it before. I can't play whatever music I want. I have to play copyright free stuff. But if you don't leave the video up on the channel, like if I stream and then delete it straight away, then I can play whatever music I want, basically. So I might just do that. Like, at this point, I'm not really. Obviously, I stream and create videos because I enjoy it. Obviously, otherwise I wouldn't do it. It'd be very hard to do every single week if you didn't enjoy it. But you're obviously trying to grow the channel. But right now, it doesn't really matter what the hell I put up, I guess. So if I put up a stream and delete it, so be it. You just have to make sure you're there live on a Saturday night. I mean, what else are you going to be doing on a Saturday night at the moment? It's fine, we learn together. Yeah, that would... Look, at the end of the day, if I do a Football Manager stream, it will be... I'll make it clear that I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And it's going to be a steep learning curve. And I think some people will want to watch that, and some people will hate it. Some people will be Football Manager pros and be able to talk me through it. And the only thing is, I would say, I'm probably just going to go for Man United, which I know, like, the die-hard Football Manager fans, you know, these geniuses, and that's not even sarcasm, the people that can go and take over, like, a League 2 club or whatever and get them into the Champions League, I just don't think I have the patience or the knowledge of football in general and Football Manager to do that. So I'd probably just go for Man United, get Fernandes in because you get the updated team. So I'd have Bruno Fernandes. I'd probably recall, I think Sanchez on loan, right? So I could recall Sanchez, get him in. That's what we'd be looking to do. We'll see. 55 quid though, do I want to buy it? I probably should just buy it, shouldn't I? I've also bought Final Fantasy 7, so if there's any people that like games, I've bought Final Fantasy 7. But this is the thing. I don't think I can get away with streaming Final Fantasy 7 on this channel. I think I would have to go and use my Twitch account for that, to be honest. I think Football Manager you can just about get away with. You can put like an FPL angle. But yeah, otherwise Final Fantasy 7 probably not. Have I gained weight? So I tweeted out two pictures earlier. So one, I haven't. If anything, I'm actually... Hopefully by Saturday I'll be the lowest weight I've been since I started trying to lose weight. Now, I might not look it right now for two reasons. One, I've not shaved. It does look worse when I don't shave. And two, I've not been going to the gym for like 2 weeks plus now, I'd say. So I have been doing some stuff at home, but it's not the same. Like, it's just once you go to the gym, it's not the same working out at home unless you've got a proper home gym. So I'd say I've lost weight, but maybe I've lost a bit of muscle. I don't know. It's probably been too soon for that to happen. So the beard is probably not helping, to be completely honest. But I don't think people really got the kind of joke from the pictures I tweeted earlier. So that maybe it wasn't a huge thing, but I saw some people tweeting about it, just like how, like when the decade finished, this year, people were doing start of the decade, end of the decade pictures. Well, because obviously everything's gone to kind of crap this month, people were doing 1st of March, 31st of March images, and that's what the images were. So neither of those images is today, obviously. But some people think that, like, the difference in weight between go and look on my Twitter account, the difference in weight between those two pictures is about 7 stone plus. That's like, what, 84 pounds, something like that? No, more than that. It's nearly 100 pounds difference in weight. And people think I've put that on it. Some people think I've put that on in 30 days. Some people think the difference in those pictures is 30 days. Who would be my first Man United target in Football Manager? This is the thing. I think this is one of the kind of problems I have with Football Manager. And I'm always kind of open about this. My knowledge of football outside of the Premier League is not fantastic. Like, I would know a lot of the kind of popular names in Europe, at least. I'm sure a lot of people, when they take over Man United, they try and buy Sancho, for example. But I wouldn't really know like the lowly players, and that's kind of the only thing that kind of worries me about Football Manager. Like, how do you find out who those players are and stuff? Am I going to play Doom Eternal? Probably not. I don't think so. I've been playing a lot of Apex. I played Call of Duty Warzone, but I think I prefer... I went back to Apex. I think I prefer it. So I kind of like Battle Royale, but I'm kind of getting a bit tired of playing them every single day, I think. Do you know who Messi is? I do know who Messi is. I've heard of him once or twice. Do I think the season should end, or do I think they should finish the remaining games? Yeah, obviously this is a big question. I really should just do a video on this, because I've talked about it on the last stream, but I do fully appreciate that when there is a live stream and you're talking about a lot of stuff, it can be difficult to go and find the particular discussion. I think they have a player in France called Neymar. I know he dies around a lot. I think the preference, I think, has to be to finish the season. Like, there's a lot of people that get caught up that it kind of has to be finished by May, and then the next one has to be started by August. I mean, this is a slightly different scenario we're in right now. Probably not going to see this again for a long time, hopefully. And obviously no one could expect it. So I think you have to try and finish. It would just be weird. Like, what do they do? I don't think you can... It might get to the point where they have to cancel it, right? I don't know what that point is, but it sounds like there's a lot of money involved if they cancel it, which is not... Obviously, teams are going to want to be suing for whatever. So there's going to be a lot of that happening. So they're not going to want to just stop it. And how do you do it? Like, if you stop it, do you give everyone what position they're in now, which isn't fair to those that haven't finished their games? Or do you just null and void it, which isn't really fair to kind of Liverpool and stuff? And obviously, you can talk about whether that fairness really matters in the current situation. But I think just get it finished. I know, there's been a few ideas. Like, there was an idea knocking about the other day where they would... get like a World Cup base. I guess a bit like what the Olympics do. And obviously the World Cup does it as well, but I think it's probably slightly different. But have all the teams in a quarantine base and then play the games out. But that just is not going to happen, surely. Because as soon as one person potentially contracts it, then that is game over. You can't keep them there. You just have to then test every single person. And it's all... I mean, look, I'm not a scientist or a medical person at all, as you probably imagine. But even if you test someone and they don't have it, and one person in the camp has got it, surely you have to keep testing. You can't just test once and then that's it. You have to keep testing, every couple of days or something, every week? And then someone else gets it, then you just keep testing? At some point, you just got to, get rid of or get out of that camp. So there's just no way that's going to happen, I just don't think. I mean, I don't really know what the end sight is for when things start kicking off again. I would assume it's not just going to be waiting for a vaccine, because that's everything I've read or seen, that's like 12 months away. So something tells me we're not going to still be sat here 12 months' time, still in our houses every day. I think people will go nuts. There's only so long I think people can sustain, a lot of people can sustain that for. And obviously there's not the time to discuss it, but there's loads of bigger implications, obviously, if you don't have people working and all that kind of stuff. But so I don't see this whole camp thing happening, where they just get everyone together. So what I would like is, I think if they finish the season, it would be good to do, I think Gary Neville said it, like a kind of festival of football thing, so you get all the matches finished quickly. And I fully get that that's, you can't play 9 games every other day for 18 days, because that'd be ridiculous. Players would get injured, etc. And obviously the longer they don't play, the more it gets into a pre-season situation. I mean, they're probably already there, to be honest. I mean, I don't know the science behind their fitness and how easy it is for it to keep it up after stopping. But you've seen players. I know it's not a holiday, right? So I'm not saying it is. It's absolutely not. But it's a bit like that in terms of, yes, they're probably training at home, but it's not the same as playing, football against your teammates or actually playing competitive games. It's just not the same. So there's obviously going to be a bit of kind of almost like a pre-season to get back up to scratch as well. So how long does all that take? They're not just going to say, right, season can restart, bam, you're back in. I don't think they will. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how long it takes and what happens. We'll have to wait and see. Play 45-minute matches every other day. Yeah, possibly. But the thing, I don't know. I just don't think you can do that. Play 45 minutes. It's just, again, it's not, because that means X amount of players have played. It will come down to what matches and stuff you've played. Obviously, a team that's already played all their maybe tough. It depends which way you want to look at it, but maybe they've played all their tough fixtures and they've only got easy ones left, or mostly easy ones. Then yeah, maybe you're okay playing 45 minutes, but I don't know. I just don't think you can do that. Everyone else has played 90 minutes. You can't then. If everyone had played the same fixtures, which obviously they haven't, then it might be a bit different. But I think because they've, not everyone, obviously they can't have played the same fixtures. That's not how football works. So I just don't think you can start reducing the minutes of matches. I think if you play the games in quick succession, but they still get 90-minute games, I think that would be okay. But there would still have to be more than 2 days. We've seen over Christmas, it just gets too much, really. Championship Manager was the legendary circa late 90s, early 90s. Yeah, I was the first one I played was 97, 98, but I do remember 01, 02 being pretty good. Football Manager is too in-depth. Who had the time to spend 8 hours setting up pre-season scouts and training regimes? I agree, usually. But guess what we have right now? A lot of time. And if I'm going to be streaming anyway, maybe it doesn't matter how long it takes to finish the season. I don't know. I've bought Football Manager once before and then refunded it. I mean, it is 55 quid, so it's not super cheap. Obviously, not trying to spend too much money at the moment. I might just get it and hope for the best. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Maybe do a few streams and see what people think. Like I said, I'm not really worried about kind of views and all that kind of thing with it. It's just good to keep going on the channel. Just to kind of, it's almost like keeping up your fitness, but for streaming, because you do get rusty. It's obviously not the same as fitness, but hopefully you get what I mean. And if people want to watch it, great. If they don't, I just do it anyway. If there's only a few people watching, that's fine too. And like I said, Football Manager is the kind of game where you can just sit there, get distracted for 10 minutes, and you're not going to, be killed or something like in Call of Duty or whatever. Tough living in a mansion on 200 grand a week. Surely that indoor cinema and pool will be good to good use. Yeah, sure, but that's not, what's that got to do with being match ready and playing football? Play the 8 games at the start of the season, then have a 30-game season to follow. Yeah, but then you're playing a season with 30 games where you're not going to play. Why? I don't see how that would work, to be honest. Like, play the 8 games and get the season finished, yes, but you still have to play the full amount of games. The only way cutting the amount of games down would work is cutting them in half. So you only play each team once. So you play 19 games. But obviously, are they then all at neutral grounds, or is it just a toss of a coin that sometimes you'll play half, 10 of those 19 at home and 9 of them away, or whatever it might be. So yeah, I don't know about that. I think if you have to cut down the amount of games, you just have to have it. I think that's the only way you could do that. You can find Football Manager cheaper than £50. Well, it's €55, I should say, not 55 sterling. But I know you can get like dodgy key sites. I don't like using them, to be honest. Going to be tough for players to keep motivation regarding match fitness, especially when they don't know when matches will resume. They're professionals, but still, yeah, I completely agree. Like, I think, yes, they're on X amount of money, they're living a great lifestyle, very privileged. They should really, be aware of the kind of lifestyle and job that they've got. But yeah, same as anyone. They're cooped up in a house. Yes, it's a mansion, etc., and it's a nice place to be living. I'm sure they have got big cinemas and whatever, but even rich people, take their toll on having to stay in the house all day, every day, especially when that's your job, is to be out playing matches. Like, it's not easy, I'd say, to keep up doing the fitness. They're just human at the end of the day. Like, there will be some. I'm sure there are some footballers that are just as fit now as when the season ended, but everyone is different. It's not necessarily easy to keep that up, even for 150 grand a week. Maybe play the 8 games, Champions League start next season, then have the Euros in that big space afterwards. The only kind of silver lining out of all of this, and don't get me wrong, it's not a good thing that's happened, is when we get back to football, there is going to be a lot of football with very few breaks, potentially. Obviously, it depends when it gets back. Like, UEFA kind of, I think UEFA announced today that the national games that were scheduled for June are cancelled now, so that kind of tells you that June is not happening for football. So it could be July or August until we get anything, maybe even September. So yeah, if they are going to quickly finish the games, then get into the next season, then it's going to be the Euros, then it's the World Cup the year after. It's going to be a lot of football coming, which I think everyone would love right now. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff we'd love right now. That's actually the thing for me, like, because I had, like, going back to what I was saying at the start, because I had symptoms, I called the GP and stuff, and they said, essentially, like, if you can, it's not possible for everyone, but if you can, you're even supposed to, like, kind of self-isolate in the house away from other people. So I've been staying in the spare bedroom. I've only really been in this office because no one really comes in here anyway. And that's kind of it. I've hardly been downstairs at all. So I'm really looking forward to Saturday when I can, like, walk around my house normally again and touch things without gloves on. I don't know how I got onto that point now. It was kind of a tangent from something else, but yeah, there you go. What do I think will happen with player contracts? I reckon they'll just extend it to whenever the season actually ends. So there's just, I don't know how it works. I don't know from a legal perspective how easily it can be changed. But if there's a bunch of contracts out there which say by the end of June you're out of contract or your loan spell works, then surely the easiest solution is just that the FA or whoever makes the decision extends that to whenever the season ends. Because you can't have a situation like, again, obviously this is all completely different. So maybe we just have to lump it, and the players will have to lump it and just put it down to a weird season, and this is how it's going to end. But you can't really have a case where a team gets a bunch of players back that were out on loan, and suddenly they can. I don't know. I can't think of anything specific off the top of my head, but imagine like a situation in the relegation zone. And hypothetically, like Aston Villa had like 5 players out on loan and a bunch of injuries, and then suddenly those loan players get cancelled at those clubs and they come back to Villa and they help them stay up. Like, the clubs around them wouldn't be too happy about that, I think the thing with injuries, obviously, you can't really do anything about that. Like, Man United are hopefully going to get Rashford and Pogba back, etc. Spurs could have Son, Kane, and whoever else was injured back. There's not really a lot you can do about that. But contracts and stuff, I think you just have to extend it. That seems to be the easiest solution. How much in reality that is actually easy, I don't know. What do I think of players taking a pay cut to help clubs pay staff? Yeah, look, this is an interesting one because, again, I don't know enough about how all this works, and I'm not one of those people that's like, doctors and nurses should get footballer wages, footballers should pay 20% of their wages to whatever, like in normal circumstances, right? Not really, footballers earn what they earn. There's not really many people that can do what they do, and they're not the only people that earn a lot of money. Like, no one talking about film stars, golfers, etc. Who also earn a ridiculous amount of money. So I'm not really one of those people. Like, doctors and nurses should get paid more just because they do a great job, not because footballers get paid what they do. But that's kind of a complete side point, which could take all day to talk about. But it does seem crazy that, like regular staff, like maybe, I don't know, those that work in the ticket office or the kitchen or receptionist or whatever it might be, are having to kind of take pay cuts or use the government-backed schemes when all the players are still on their full wages. Now, it's not just footballers either. Obviously, the owners are super rich as well. It shouldn't just be the players that have to stump up the cash. But you would think, in this particular time, they'd maybe just take a slight pay cut that would help out the rest of the club. It's different, obviously, at different levels. Like, the Premier League can probably afford to do it a bit more than lower leagues. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, it feels like this is the time when it should happen, but I wouldn't look down on a footballer for not doing it. Like, they're getting their wages and they want to be paid it. Like, it's, obviously you'd hope that a lot of them would, and the thing is as well, is I'm sure there's loads of footballers that are doing loads of good stuff to help out in this situation, like giving money to charity, raising awareness and all this stuff we just don't hear about. I'm sure that happens way more than we know about. Like, you see Rashford helping raise loads of money for meals for kids and stuff like that. So it's not necessarily about pay cuts, but obviously that is close to the club itself and all the other people that work at the club. So I don't like lower league clubs. Like, I'm sure it's much more difficult because the money just isn't there. But in Premier League, I don't like the idea that non-playing kind of staff and maybe non-coaches and stuff are kind of struggling. It doesn't seem right that should happen with the amount of money in football in the Premier League. Okay, do a video on who has the best remaining fixtures. Maybe at some point. The reason I wouldn't necessarily do too many fixture things right now is, one, we don't know when the fixtures are going to return and which fixtures are going to be first. So you could do an overall, at the remaining 9 game weeks, who has the best fixtures, of course, but from an FPL point of view, like when you're making your transfer stuff, you want to know when those fixtures are going to be played. Is there going to be double game weeks, triple game weeks, and stuff like that? That's why I probably wouldn't do a fixture specific roundup right now. Any idea what will happen with the transfer window? Yeah, I think basically, like you say, it's tied into the contract issue. So if they extend the loan period, then they just extend the transfer window, I guess. So no one, I don't know, you just, whenever the season, let's say the season's going to restart in September, I don't know. Yeah, let's say it's September. Maybe they can't make transfers until, the middle of August or something. I guess until we know more about when it's going to restart, they're not going to be able to make those decisions. Someone asked me what was my opinion. Oh yeah, what was my opinion as a United supporter? Boom, shirt is on. That Liverpool might get snubbed on this title. I've kind of got the opinion, and it hasn't really changed. That one, they should finish the season. Right, get Liverpool the title; it's theirs anyway. But if they null and void it, you can't give Liverpool the title, even if they're only a few points off winning it. So, I mean, realistically, a lot of these decisions are not just based. I know Liverpool, the team that get talked about the most. Like, it's been a long time. Well, they've never won the Premier League. Obviously, it's been a long time since they won a league, and obviously they've already won it. Like, apart from, obviously, yes, mathematically, it's still possible for them not to win it, but they are going to win it. Even the most ardent kind of anti-Liverpool supporter, can see that they're going to win it. And if there's anyone out there saying that it's still a possibility, then they're just an idiot. So they're going to win. But there's so much other stuff like Champions League places, Europa League places, relegation and stuff like that. So if you null and void it in any way, if you just say this season never happened, you cannot give Liverpool the title, because what if something else like this happens again and a club is only 1 point ahead? You can't. I just think that you're just going to set precedent now. So yeah, I think if they null and void it, you don't give Liverpool the title unless they actually win. And I'm sure they wouldn't want that. I'm sure a lot of fans wouldn't want that unless it's actually won. But yeah, realistically, they should just finish it, get it done, and give Liverpool the title. They're going to win it anyway, so job done. But I don't like this idea that you just give it to them because they're in the lead, because that has a big knock-on effect to all the teams that are in the relegation zone right now, but still have a great chance of not finishing there come the end of the season. Have to put a 2-year-old bed. Oh yeah, good. Ted Crilly, not the real Ted Crilly, probably, given that he was never real. But stay safe yourself. Yeah, I think, I don't know if we should leave it there. I feel like we got a bit deep on footballers' wages and whatever. What's everyone up to anyway? What's everyone doing to pass the time right now? Because like I was saying earlier, there's one thing we have right now. It's a hell of a lot of time. Going back to some of the other comments, Battlefield 5 is awesome, highly recommend it. I'm not a fan of Battlefield games hugely. I like the idea of them, and I probably like watching them, and I think they're kind of cool games in terms of like watching clips and stuff on YouTube, but there's too much going on. I prefer close quarter maps and stuff like that. I'd rather play Call of Duty, although I broke my rule in Call of Duty. Was it at the weekend? I was playing multiplayer, and I don't have, like, basically if I ever hear someone speak, I mute them straight away. Because there's a certain, not everyone of course, but there's definitely a demographic of people that play Call of Duty, which hasn't really changed over the years, I would say. And someone started chatting, and I don't know where they were from. Well, they were from England, and they were going nuts about how bad we were. It's like, oh, this is team deathmatch. Do you not get what team means? It means you work as a team. And I started chatting to them, and that was a big mistake. They started calling me posh and all this stuff, and they just wouldn't shut up. And in the end, I had to mute them. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, playing Call of Duty. But I can't listen to people on Call of Duty. I mean, there's some great people that play the game. I like watching it on YouTube and stuff, but there is a certain demographic, I would say similar to FIFA in a lot of ways, to play that game. I'd say Call of Duty is the FIFA of first-person shooters. Don't know about you, but I've been staying in a lot. Yeah, I've kind of been doing the same. One of the things... How's it going, Suj, by the way? One of the things I've been doing is every night before I go to bed now, I watch Ricky Gervais. So I think he streams on Twitter around 6 o'clock in the evening. So that's probably why the views on this video are so low. They're all watching Ricky Gervais. But I go back in the evening and watch on Facebook. He basically puts it on Facebook afterwards. I'll go and watch that every night. It just makes me laugh. Like it just talks not rubbish. Doesn't talk rubbish, but it could be about anything. It just makes me laugh. Like yesterday, it was like just stayed in today. And it's just like, even though you know that's what everyone's doing, it's just funny. Not if you hate Ricky Gervais, of course, but I do not. None in this season effectively ends Pep reign at Man City. You think he's just going to go? Working out with the missus on video chat, playing COD. Yeah, I've been playing Warzone, but I don't know. I think Apex is better. As a teacher, I still have a lot of work to set my... Yeah, my mum is actually like a teaching assistant, so she's not full-time now, but she has to go in at some points because there's still kids obviously going to school who have got like parents that are key workers and stuff. So yeah, fair play to teachers. I think apart from obviously everyone's going to be loving nurses, doctors, and everyone that went to work during all this, but I think there's a lot of appreciation now for teachers, given that everyone's having to do homeschooling, and they're realising what teachers... Like, I knew anyway, but fair play to teachers that have to deal with like 30-odd kids in a classroom. I could not do it. And I think, like, I know some people are like... feel like a lot of people have got kind of time off and stuff now, and they're having to work. But I think most people would much rather be working at the moment, keep them busy. Like, if you've got a job that keeps you busy all day, you're kind of in dreamland right now. Apart from maybe working in hospitals and stuff, which is totally different. Bought some new SSDs to put games on. Gonna get rid of my HDDs. That's good. I've actually got 2 SSDs in the PC that I made. The only thing is, it's not that quiet. I don't think you can hear it when I'm streaming, but it's much louder than my old PC. It's a bit annoying, but it's fast though, so I can't complain too much. Maybe I built it a bit too quickly. Can't chat with stupid people; they'll bring you down to. Yeah, I did. I broke my rule, because then you do start talking like them as well. So I just muted him in the end and moved on with my day. You should play Truck Simulator. I've actually got I don't know which one, but I've got a Truck Simulator game. That's what I was saying earlier. I think there's only certain games I can get away with playing on this channel. I might have to set up another channel. Like, I've already got a Twitch channel if I want to play games. I think I can get away with Football Manager on this one. I just maybe have to do a kind of FPL slant on it. Modern Warfare 2 Remastered on the way. Yeah, that's true. It's only the single player though, so I don't think I would buy it to play the single player. I think the original Modern Warfare had multiplayer as well, but to be honest, I don't know. I feel like I love Modern Warfare 2 is what got me into Call of Duty, and I think I'm just leaving it for nostalgia now. I don't even think I'd want to play the multiplayer again, even if I had the choice. Sitting here playing Animal Crossing, I've seen so many people playing Animal Crossing. I don't get it, and I'm not saying I don't get it as in like, it's a stupid game, why is everyone playing it? I just don't get it. Like, why is that suddenly such a big thing? Like, is it new? Like, has it just come out or something? You should play Dota. No way. Not League of Legends. Not my games. Broke a leg the weekend before we got locked down. Oh, Jesus. Walking about 10k a day makes up for a couple of hours. Yeah, 10k, was it 10 kilometers? It's a good hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on how quickly you can do it. That's what I need to do. I need to get back to walking. I know I can only go a certain distance, but I can do that distance over and over, I guess. I kind of like, for me where I live, it's quite quiet. Like, I could probably go and, like I did 2 weeks ago, I did like 10 miles walk. And apart from walking through kind of the village, I probably didn't see anyone for pretty much 8 or 9 of those 10 miles. Maybe see the odd car going past, but in terms of someone walking past, it wouldn't happen. So I mean, I could probably go walking further than I'm supposed to at the moment. Not that I would, of course, but yeah. Obviously, if you're in a town or city, then it makes much more sense that you can only go a certain distance. But I'm kind of out in the sticks a little bit. Hence, not being able to stream whatever I want to stream game-wise. Business Cat, how's it going? Thanks for the stream. It helps dull the pain. Yeah, I want to do it more regularly. I just, you know what I mean? I'm not an interesting person. Probably don't want to sit here every single day and listen to me talk rubbish. But like, I just think there's certain things. Like, I've watched a bit of Netflix as well, which I don't usually do. Not that often. So I've watched a lot of the Dirty Money episodes. So we could talk about that. Animal Crossing, just really relaxing, building a small island community, just chilled. It looks a bit like, almost like Tamagotchis, I guess, but on a bigger scale. Red Dead Redemption, I've got that actually. I've never really played it, to be honest. I should play it. I think my missus bought me that. Hopefully she can't hear. But I hope, by the way, Kev, I hope your 2-year-old's okay. Obviously, I know you can. There's only so much you can be okay with a broken leg, but hopefully they're getting back to kind of full fitness. You made a YouTube folder of full 90-minute matches from MLS. That's your football. You don't know the outcome. 1 game a day played on PS4. Footy on the telly. I like it. A lot of people playing Football Manager and doing FIFA stuff at the moment. I haven't actually checked Twitch, but I'd say it's pretty busy. Football Manager, yes. We'll see. One of my greatest moments in gaming is getting 2 nukes on Modern Warfare 2. Now I know there's gonna be loads of people in the chat that tell me they got like millions of nukes, but I'm not that good. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is my favorite first proper FPS Call of Duty game. First proper Call of Duty game. I mean, not FPS. So yeah, I love it. I think it had like, to get the nukes that I got, it was kind of the 7 kill streak, the Harrier strike, then the chopper gun or the AC-130. I preferred the chopper gun because it was easier to manage, even though I think if you were really good, the AC-130 was better. And obviously the nuke 25. I actually screwed up. One of them I got. I can even picture the map now, but I can't remember what it's called. I think it might be Overgrown. I've probably talked about this before. Let me see. I think... no, maybe not Overgrown. I don't know. It's like a map with like a trench in the middle, and then one side of stuff, but there's like a whole bunch of bridges across. And I got to 25 kills, and then I panicked that I wasn't going to be able to use the nuke, forgetting that it's just a kill streak, so you can just keep it as long as you want. Even if you die like another 5 times, you've still got that kill streak. And I just popped it straight away, even though I could have got that kill streak even longer. Have I ever watched the Irish series Love Hate? I've seen bits of it. I think my missus used to watch it, so I kind of know a few of the characters. I don't want to get it wrong. Nidge, right? Nidge is like one of the main bad guys. Like I can picture some of the characters. So I've seen bits of it, but I've never really watched it all. So yeah, maybe I could binge that. Wimbledon cancelled the Premier League to follow. Wimbledon's different though, isn't it? There's no. You can play that whenever. Like, there's not as much. Obviously, there's still a lot of money involved, but it's there's not a league to win. Like the winning of Wimbledon is by playing Wimbledon. If you don't play it, then no one plays it. It's not the same as cancelling the Premier League. Have I seen the series on how the league began on Netflix? I haven't. No. Let me know what it's called though. All right, I'm going to leave it there. It's like 50 minutes or so. And yeah, like it's just a quick update at the start, and obviously a bit of a live stream. No, we will do these more often, I think, going forward. I might have to like watch some stuff first to have some more stuff to think about. Maybe I need to read a book. I got some books for Christmas. Maybe I should read them. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. So there will be some videos coming on this channel. I think most of the FPL stuff will be on Fantasy Football Scouts. So make sure you check that out if you haven't already. Stay safe, wash your hands, all of that good stuff. Like the stream if you want. Doesn't really matter at the moment, to be honest. And yeah, maybe I'll get Football Manager going, and we can see how it goes. If it all goes wrong, rubbish, and people hate it, then maybe I'll just stop it and go and do it on Twitch or something. But we'll see how